We represent students in campus misconduct cases. Campus misconduct is a very broad term that would apply to any action that violates a college or university's handbook.
These cases range from accusations involving hazing, underage drinking, vandalism, even academic integrity cases like cheating or plagiarism.
Especially since the recent years with people taking exams online, we've seen a lot of cheating cases.
In any sort of student misconduct case, generally a student can have an advisor. The question is, if the advisor can't talk, why should a student have an advisor?
We are potted plants in typical misconduct cases, but cases are won and lost before the actual hearing.
That's right.
We help the students prepare for the hearing. We get them organized with their evidence, we help them shape their opening statement, and we do mock cross-examination questions so we get them ready for what the panelists might ask them.
The sanctions in these cases can vary. We've had cases where a student was found not to have committed a policy violation at all, or instances where a policy violation was found. There can be probation, a written reprimand, the student has to write an apology. But we've also seen cases where the sanctions range from suspension to even expulsion.
Or in cheating cases or other academic integrity matters, we've had students get an F in the class. That's very serious for those students who want to go into graduate school. It can really derail a potential doctor or lawyer from getting into their law school or medical school of their choice.
Really what we say is that any student facing academic integrity violations, it's serious, but particularly for students who are thinking about grad school.
I agree. Our hazing cases have become much more complicated as the years have gone on. The definition of hazing has really changed and become a lot broader than routine ritual behavior that impacts the health, safety, and welfare of a student.
One thing I can say with certainty, there's very little consensus as to what actually constitutes hazing. We've had hazing cases where students being asked to perform calisthenics or eat gross food. And then of course there's cases with binge drinking of alcohol and other more serious activities involving physical labor.
If a student is accused of hazing, it's especially serious because some states have statutes that criminalize acts of hazing, and students are at risk of being sued civilly for those cases. So we're really mindful of playing in both multiple playing fields, such as the school and in court.
In recent years, we've really seen a rise in related litigation for hazing cases, and so it's essential that a student has an advisor because the student's testimony or whatever the student shares with the school, whether it's statements or evidence, there's a good likelihood it could end up being reviewed by countless lawyers years down the road.
For parents out there, it's really important before your student starts college to have your student familiarize themselves with the handbook. Make sure they really know what is allowed and what isn't allowed. Not to trivialize a matter, but even putting stickers on a window can lead to a housing problem and later start a record against your child.
I'll mention handbooks vary from campus to campus, so rules and regulations on one campus aren't necessarily found across the country. As Susan said, it's essential that students understand what's in the handbook. It keeps themselves safe and those around them.